What is up, everybody? Welcome back to another video, and in today's video we're going to be doing my first reaction video. I'm super excited about this one because I'll admit I'm not the most familiar with Two Steps from Hell and Thomas Bergersen. So when I heard this album was coming out, and I saw the hype that was coming out, from all the fans and people who love his music, I was like, I gotta get into this. I gotta, check this out. So I kind of wanted to do a reaction video and kind of share my thoughts with you on this album. I've only heard good things so far, so I'm expecting a fantastic experience. And without any further ado, let's take a look at the album itself. So this is Humanity. Chapter 1 is what has just been released out of 7, which is awesome. I think he really wants this to be like a journey for you to take you from start to finish. So let's take a look at a little bit of the background here for Humanity. Humanity is the latest massive collection of music by Thomas Bergersen. Comprised of 7 chapters spread across 7 different themes about humanity, this unparalleled collection of emotional music has occupied most of Thomas's time the last 6 years and is by far his largest work to date. The music covers all ranges of human emotion and history and explores completely new musical territory while elaborating on the unique and established stylistic approach Thomas is so well known for. So I'm thinking like the style he was most well known for is kind of that trailer heavy type of music. If I'm not mistaken, that's kind of the vibe I get from their style. Humanity represents the evolution of his wildly successful albums, Illusions and Sun, which I'm not really familiar with, both of which have achieved platinum status. Humanity is a deeper and more developed continuation and covers a broad spectrum of musical styles and expressions. Wonderful. So notice nothing is really too specific here. They're really just saying how it represents a wide style of styles and expressions. So without further ado, I've got Spotify pulled up and let's get into it. Here we go. This is Eleutheria. Sorry. Here we go. That was beautiful. Just a general impression. So this is a very nice opener to me. Like this is a choral work. I didn't understand any of the language, unfortunately. It probably isn't even English. But the chords. So we're in G major and very nice bass line. Let me just play through a little bit and see if I can point some things out that I'm noticing here. Go back here to the beginning. So just a really nice opening here. And it kind of starts slightly out of tune, which I actually kind of like. It kind of seeps into G major there, to the G major chord. And then we get this D over F sharp, first inversion. So just a really nice descending bass line so far. A classic classic chord progression, just allowing the bass line to go down the scale, which is really, really nice. A minor 7, we have that G in there as the 7th. And then here, I absolutely expected the D in root position, but he actually took that G down to the F sharp even further. So he left it in first inversion, which is really cool. And this melody is gorgeous, by the way. Very, very memorable. Especially when we have like 3 repeating notes. Dun, 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 dun. Those 3 notes, I think something about the number 3 just sticks in our minds. So that's just really beautiful. So essentially we have the same chord progression now repeated again. So you would expect the second time to have a little bit of more variation. Beautiful. Here it is, C major. Basic goes to the 5 chord now. 1 chord. And now here, this is the second half of the piece where we really hear the basses start to come in. The low end starts to be really supported by these thick, rich chords, and that's the power of the human voice, and really any instrument for that matter. But when the low end starts to really come in and fill out, it just really expands the frequency spectrum and allows the upper frequencies to really soar because that low end is now supported so well. I love that E7 chord. That's our secondary dominant going to the 6th chord. And there's, yeah, all beautiful stuff here. 4 chord. 4 to 5 to 1. Four chord, but sus4 goes directly to 1. So when you get this 4 to 1, this plagal cadence, it kind of gives us that churchy feeling, almost like a praise type of theme or a hymn. And that's used really effectively here as well. So I love this. It's diatonic. So it's in the key of G major. There's nothing really unexpected happening here so far musically. The choir is beautiful. Just a gorgeous piece so far. Let's continue on. Let's hear this next piece. Let's see how this continues on.
I should like to talk to you briefly about civil rights and human freedom. It is my deep conviction that we have reached a turning point in the long history of our country's efforts to guarantee freedom and equality to all our citizens. Our immediate task is to remove the last remnants of the barriers which stand between millions of our citizens and their birthright. There is no justifiable reason for discrimination because of ancestry, or religion, or race, or color.
Okay, wow. I did not expect that to happen, actually. So yeah, okay, first of all, beautiful piece again. Now we're in the key of E flat major. Totally different color than what we've just experienced with the G major in the first piece. So now, and this actually shows the power of thirds. So C to E flat, we get this, what is it, the 6th chord, because we're in the key of E flat major. 5 chord to the 1, and then the 4 chord. So just 2 notes can really give you the sense of what the chord is. If you just have the root in the 3rd, that already gives you the harmonic information you need to know. And it's really beautifully done here. You get this piano, solo piano, and there's kind of a ping pong delay effect going back and forth, which really fills up the panning and the stereo spread, right? This is gorgeous. And then if you I'll go through a little more, we expect something to develop. We expect something more to come in. And this voice really gave me a pleasant surprise, this kind of, this speech, this monologue.
I should like to talk to you briefly about civil rights.
And I just love when the guitar comes in.
Turning point in the long history of our country's efforts to guarantee freedom and equality to all our citizens.
And that's such an uplifting sentence, like guaranteeing, you know, equality to all our citizens, right? And then the music kind of responds with that.
Our immediate task is to remove the last remnants of the barrier.
Right, so now it just fills out. There's like pads, I think, maybe even a hint of strings here and there, but the guitar really takes over that melody, and it's just gorgeous.
Which stand between millions of our citizens and their birthright.
Yeah, it's just more like a pad, filling everything up.
There is no justifiable reason for discrimination because of ancestry or religion.
That's beautiful, right?
Because of ancestry.
4, 6, 5. 4, 6, 5. That chord progression is very beautiful. And because we're ending on a 5 chord, we get this imperfect cadence. So we would expect the next piece to begin on 1. And let's see if we get that.
Or race or color.
So 1 chord, here we go. Beautiful vocals there so far from Meredith. Oh, I love how those middle strings fill in the harmonic stuff there. Beautiful woodwinds. love how the strings are just interacting here and there as well. Oh, nice swell. Huge drums, huge drums. Contrast. Ah, back to the piano. There it is. And now we get this hint of strings. Maybe it's combined with some pads in there as well. Do we get the 1 chord? Oh, sounds like the 6 chord. I hear the C on the bottom. Wow, that was beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. So yeah, this beautiful people really brought it full circle, because we have the We Are One, which starts with the piano. We get this monologue, this inspirational, motivational speech, and then Beautiful People just builds. We get this huge brass melody. I think it's da, 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 or something like that. It goes up a 6, down a step or something. And then you get these voices repeating the same note, but they interact so beautifully with the acoustic instruments back and forth. And I noticed how this piece, Beautiful People, kind of revolves around the 1 and the 4 chords. So you get this really powerful, uplifting feeling with the 2 major chords interacting with each other. We also get the first inversion of the tonic chord. So it's like 1 chord, 1 6 to 4, and you really get that uplifting thing. I love that type of progression, because it's just going from 1 to 1 6 to 4. Going from 3 to 4 or 1 6 to 4 is always like a really uplifting, powerful progression. And then I love how everything is just stripped back at the very end, and then we finally get the soft piano coming back again. And then just at the very end, just when I was expecting to hear that 1 chord, I hear that C seeping in on the bottom. So it's almost like we have a deceptive cadence. But let's see what happens after this. There's some counter melody with the strings there. Beautiful. Catchy melody. Beautiful brass. French horns coming in. Now I love how the French horns are coming in, and the strings, the violins are just going on top. And this is kind of what we talk about when we talk about respecting the ranges of the instruments. We know that the French horns cannot go as high as the violins. So just making sure that if you're just using strings at the beginning, make sure that they all sound as one unit together, so the strings can be relatively close. But then when you have other instruments introducing counter melodies and bringing in other textures, then you should give the instruments that can go higher and that have more extreme ranges, let them do their thing, so that these instruments that maybe are not as wide in range can shine in their own respective strong areas. So in this case, I love how he brings that French horn in for that counter melody, and then the violin line just soars on top. And let's see how this continues to develop. So they're going harmony with each other. Ooh. very nice. So kind of a, I think that was a Dorian sound right there, because we had the B natural. We're in the key of D minor, by the way. Ah, there's a string ostinato. Oh. Just give me Narnia vibes right now, the battle theme. That's gorgeous. You hear how the vocal is singing on the octave above middle C, but then the strings are going an octave above that, and they're basically layered in octaves right now. And then you get the drums and the horns and everything. It's just filling up the space so beautifully. There's the Dorian mode. Let's look at that B natural. That's the 6-7-1 progression. 6-7-1. Or that's back to 6. Sorry. Nice. Very catchy. French horns, trombones, synth, I think, as well. Oh, I love that G major chord. Back to the 6, then 7. No? Oh yeah, there it is. Back to 1. String ostinato still there. Beautiful. You hear the sense of space, the reverb. It's just so open and pure. Beautiful. I think this is a great learning experience for all of us when we realize that he really only sticks with one main theme throughout each of these pieces here. He's not throwing in multiple themes and making it more complicated than it needs to be. So essentially he's choosing one main melody or two, because like it starts off with like dun, 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 right? But then there's like the horn counter melodies and things that are coming in here and there that give you like a secondary theme. But that's basically the most complex that it gets. And then the textures just build with more and more instruments, the strings and the brass, and the synths come in, and everything is just really beautifully condensed into like one homogeneous, cohesive sound. So you can tell the mixing has, really been a big factor in this thing. But everything sounds spacious, everything sounds clear, and just really upfront and beautiful. And then, naturally we kind of get this resolution at the very end. All the instruments are pulled back, and just a really nice resolution on the one chord. Yeah. And then just really quickly, the Dorian mode was in use here. Essentially, that's just like having, instead of a flat 6, we have a natural 6. So in this case, it's a D minor. So having a B natural in there, which is the natural 6, allows for uses of the G major chord, which would be the major 4 chord in this case. And then just to make sure we are clearly still in D minor and not in a Dorian mode anymore, he brings back the B flat major chord, which again brings back that flat 6. So that's one really common use of modes, using the occasional chord that incorporates that altered note and then bringing it back to diatonic, bringing it diatonic again, making it diatonic by using the regular note in the minor or major scale that you're normally in. Beautiful. Let's keep going. I just noticed these last few here are kind of like mashups and different variations of some of these earlier songs or pieces. So I think Humanity will be the last one we'll cover. Cool. Okay, let's hear the next one. L'appel du vide. Very atmospheric. Again, there's kind of a main theme. Da, 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 da. Also, I'm noticing how the time signature here is a little bit, it's a triplet meter because it's like, so it's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So we can consider it like 12, 16 or 12, 8 or something. Really cool. Now the theme changes, actually goes up a little bit. But very spacious, you get this beautiful reverb. So just a classic build again, we're just getting the instruments starting to come in together. String ascendant on the top, low bass, and some pads in the middle, I think, to fill out the chord a little bit. Now the string ascendant is in harmony. Beautiful. Very epic sounding. There's the horn. Messed up the melody. Beautiful. So we still hear the ostinato on top. It provides motion, you know, and you have the pulsing bass on the bottom, allowing that melody to sing on top. One chord, 7, G major, F major. There's an E in there as well, so it's F major 7, and then that's the 5 chord, natural 5, back to 6, 7, back to 1. Oh no, got me. That's actually the major 4 chord. So even more intensity now with the vocal coming in as well. Ostinato is much more prevalent. I love that. additional synth element there. Oh my gosh. That was awesome. Yeah, sing! Oh, the guitars, yes! Come on, give me the resolution. 1. There it is. Oh, that's beautiful. That caught me by surprise. That soft vocal rises up to that beautiful emotional electric guitar, that solo, that improv, all those little scales here and there, and then it comes back down to the solo. I think it's a violin, or maybe it's a viola. Sounds like a violin. It's a little more thin in nature, but that was gorgeous. A lot of, just a big wall of sound, and that huge buildup really just like it was totally satisfying when that huge drop came in. And that's how you build a lot of contrast, by the way. It's like if you're a pop writer or anything like that, one way to make your choruses or drop seem bigger is to strip away more just before that, like in your pre-chorus or your like moment of quiet moment just before the drop comes in. Take more of that away, make that quieter, and then your chorus will just seem that much bigger in comparison. So that was gorgeous. That was beautiful. That was like one huge masterpiece all in itself. Let's keep going. Orbital.
Had to see it.
All right, I'm getting pop vibes already.
Had to feel it to really know.
But if it was poppy, it would have already changed chords, but it didn't. So this is more cinematic now.
It's breaking waves, but I can never forget the taste. Oh, there's a lasting light.
Immediate like reverb coming in with the vocals. Then we get this pattern here, this arpeggio.
Won't stop. Tonight we are beautiful.
Yes, we are.
Tonight we are free.
Oh, nice.
Make all these memories. Make them with me.
Oh. Hear the tail on that brass. That's so gorgeous.
Had to see it on my own.
Intensity's pulled back.
Had to feel it.
But now it sounds like there's like a chorus effect on it or something. Definitely more delay, more reverb.
It's breaking waves, but I can never forget the taste. Oh, there's a lasting light.
There we go again.
It's moving me out. Pushing for inside. Won't stop. Tonight we are beautiful. Tonight we are free. Make all these memories.
So I'm just noticing here again, we're kind of in the Dorian mode because this is in C minor, but we have this A natural when he plays the F major chord. So after this F major chord, immediately jumps back to the flat 6 of A flat major. So he's playing with this Dorian mode and then going back to the diatonic key of C minor. And this is a common theme between this piece and I think it was Lapel du Vide or Wings before that. But it's really cinematic, really beautiful, honestly. Like that Dorian sound really just opens everything up when you get that. What is it? The major 4 chord. It's from the parallel major.
Make all
Now we know a drop's coming because you hear that percussion. Oh yeah. I love it. This is so good. The synth is so juicy, so powerful. I love that bass going down there. Hold down. Beautiful. 4 chord, 6. That was gorgeous. You notice here, again, the overall musical material isn't that complex when we're just talking about the harmonic and melodic composition itself, but it's what he does with it that's so beautiful, right? Like you get the texture, the instrumentation, it's just so varied, and it just keeps on coming and coming, and then it all builds to this huge like sound designy part. It's like hybrid because you have this beautiful orchestra pumping from behind, but then the synth really takes that lead in the melody. And then near the end, the vocal comes back in to take the main melody, but she's now harmonized down a third to give you that really full harmony, right? And then at the very end, we just have this nice cadence at the end. Yeah, just a very varied experience so far. I'm loving this so far. Cool. Okay, 2 more to go. There's that woodwind again. And there's the Dorian again. So D minor going to G major. That's the thing about like beautiful melodies and memorable melodies. They have to have a sense of repetition, some pattern, and grouping as well. Beautiful. I'm loving the little ornaments in there too. Notice how the melody is layered in octaves. Very nice. There's the rock. Guitars, drums. This is the style of music I'd love to write one day. And there's so many instruments trading the roles, like piano plays the melody, harmonica plays the melody, vocals, guitar. So good. Now the female vocal again. half diminished. 5 to 1, yes. Oh. Yes. Yes. Oh, that's good. I love that. Da, 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 Wow. It's one of the best pieces of music I've heard in a long time. I mean, everything that just builds up there in the middle. And then, so like the impression I get from this piece is like the melody, the theme, it's ornamented on purpose. Like it's not meant to be an immediately catchy melody, I think, because it's more complicated than what we've heard before. And this is the kind of thing where if you listen to it over and over, it's just going to get more and more catchy. And it's going to get stuck in your head. But it's just like the amount of production, the amount of work that's gone into this piece is insane, right? You get the melody, you get so many layers on top of each other, the brass, the winds, the vocals, everything is so beautifully arranged that it feels so spacious, and you don't feel any frequencies that are really like excessive in comparison to each other. Yeah. Awesome. Yeah. And again, the chord progression itself, that too. I was going to say it's pretty simple. I think the first third and then the last third was more simple, but what happened in there in the middle, I don't know what Thomas was doing. Like, what he was thinking about when he was doing that. Maybe he was just letting it totally flow, but it totally works too. There were many moments where I was caught off guard. Those like half diminished sevens going to the fives to the ones. I didn't expect that device to be used where it did, you know? So I'm going to have to listen to that over and over again just to like absorb everything, but that was awesome. Cool. All right. Finally, 10-minute 48 Humanity. Let's go. This is it. This is what we've been building up for. So I'm loving the orchestral feel right now. With the guitar there too, it gives you a sense of being on the hillside, maybe in the country. And also the voices there. Love that harp glissando, really builds up. woodwind. That reminds me of the Jade Ethnic Orchestra, the Mongolian voice, the guy. I like the little motif there. Definitely sounds like a Chinese plucked string instrument, I think. Ah, you hear the woodwind flutters. Very Williamsy there. The string soaring on the top. This whole chord progression is so beautiful. Ah, that first inversion going to that, sorry, the A minor going to D minor. Oh yeah. Yes. High D, that's hard to sing for sure. And intensity's pulled back. Beautiful string theme. Please tell me these are real strings. I love that slide from that C to the C. That octave. Theme is still so clear even on top of all those instruments. Get those frequencies high up there, that's so good. Oh. Going to the parallel major. Here the guitar is hard panned right, drums on the bottom, string ostinato. There's the melody. Feels like it's gonna build up to something. Oh dang, key change. So the brass are more fanfaring now. Oh, that's nice. Back to D minor. That was a beautiful transition. Oh, superhero type of thing. Nice. Very anthemic, just so big, right? Ooh, little sparkle. Those downers. Amazing. I think that's it, right? There's 10 more seconds left. I can't tell if there's anything else. I don't think there is. Wow. I mean, if I'm gonna write like hybrid type of stuff, like symphonic plus some sound design, that is the type of music or and the type of combination that I would ideally love to have. I mean, that was just beautiful. Like, just to summarize, I mean, I think everything was so thematic. It was so harmonically rich. It started off really nice and peaceful, diatonic, and then as we got more and more into the album, the tracks just started getting more harmonically complex, more textures were added, more instrumentation was added, and everything just became so full and so rich, and it just gives you a really a really big sense of satisfaction and just a sense of completion when you're finished everything. It really takes you on that journey. And not just imagining like this paired with a film score, or sorry, with the film, and seeing how the visuals match up. I could definitely see this last piece like ending off a film. Maybe like this main character having flashbacks to like the best moments they had in the film, and then you have this like montage and this score playing in the background. I mean, that would just like make people cry, I think. That's, yeah, really beautiful. Well, Thomas, you did a fantastic job. I mean, this is a beautiful album, and yeah, I think I have a better understanding of what Two Steps from Hell is kind of like. I mean, I haven't really listened to a lot of their music yet, but from what I can tell from this, it's very thematic, it's very beautiful. There's a lot of textures, sound design placed in there, very passionate and very emotional. Honestly, all I can say is I can't wait to hear chapter 2 and see how Thomas continues to build on this, because his first chapter really set that heroic, triumphant, noble tone to it, and especially with those vocals soaring on top with those solo strings, like all these real instruments. You can't really replicate that experience with samples. You just can't, you know? So anyway, beautifully done. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this reaction kind of analysis video. Yeah, it's a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun. And I might take the time to listen to the rest of these ones as well. But I think those are that was the main meat of the album. All these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 tracks from the record. So Thomas, super well done. I mean, thank you for sharing your music with us. It's absolutely gorgeous. And yeah, can't wait to see what you do with the rest of the chapters. All right, everyone, take care. Thank you again for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.